Hey, what's up? My name is Chana. Welcome to my channel. It's called Chederathome, and I'm going to be sharing with you a few books to read on Tisha B'Av. I know I do a lot of books that are children's for young children, but I'm going to be sharing with you one children's book, and then the rest are for adults, for you. So the first book I'm going to share, well, I'll share the kids' book first. This is called The Best Call of All. I've spoken about it in a previous video. It's a Mashiach book. It's all about what happens when Mashiach comes. It's a beautiful book. I'll show you inside some of the pages. He's sitting there thinking about, Mashiach just came, and here they're doing mitzvahs. He's helping the man cross the street, and I don't know, it's just really nice illustrations. Here the people are coming out of the hospital because there's no sickness. People have mentioned to me that they are not willing to buy a lot of books because of the boy-girl ratio. Like, there's specifically so many more boys than girls illustrated in the children's books, and they're sensitive to it, and their children are sensitive to it. But I wanted to share with you that this book is published by a Lubavitch publishing company, Merkos Inyanei Chinuch. The Lubavitcher Rebbe was very specific when publishing children's books that for every boy there should be a corresponding girl, or definitely girls should be represented. So you're going to see in a lot of Lubavitch publishing companies, like you see the cover, there's a boy and a girl. In the back, there's a boy and a girl. I mean, I didn't count the number of boys and girls in this book, but I mean, there's a girl and a boy and a mommy and a tati in this book. So girls are definitely represented, and I just wanted to note that for you. The second two books that I wanted to share with you are really for you as the parent. Okay, the first book is The Messianic Temple by Chaim Chlorfine. It's a really wonderful book. I read it just about every year. It goes through the prophecies in the book of Ezekiel, and it goes through whichever verses there are about the rebuilding of the third temple, and it expounds upon it. Anything that you learn is gonna like swirl in your head, and it affects the tone of your home. So if you're gonna learn about the third temple, it's just gonna permeate whatever you do in your house, and your kids are gonna feel that. You are so important in your children's education. Without even educating them, just by you educating yourself, it spirals to them without you even noticing it or realizing it. One more thing I just wanted to show you that I just find so fascinating here is the inside of the book, and it gives you every single room and whatever is in the third temple, and it gives you like a blueprint of it, and it's so interesting because it's in the shape of a person. Like, you see the head, and then the body, and then the legs and the arms. We are a miniature temple, okay? And by learning about the third temple that's going to be rebuilt, we're kind of making our minds into a temple, and we're living with Mashiach. Like, we want our minds to be in a Mashiach mindset. So what's a Mashiach mindset? Just creating this world of good. It starts with you. It starts in your home. It starts with your children. Every single act you do adds another brick to the third temple. Literally, in a very real, literal way. The third book I wanted to share with you, for you as a parent, or if you have an older child, maybe they'll be interested in this. It's called Hasidic Light in the Soviet Darkness. It's by Yecheskel Broad, and it talks about the Soviet Union and what he experienced as a Jew under communism, and the sacrifices people made to keep Torah and to keep kosher and Shabbos, but secretly underground, and it was against the law. Russia, let me tell you something, Russia had the largest concentration of Jews, the largest number of yeshivas, and it was all shut down once communism took over. But there was a secret underground movement that was led by the Frierdiker Rebbe, the sixth Lubavitcher Rebbe. Any semblance of Judaism that was in the Soviet Union at that time was because there was some kind of connection to the sixth Lubavitcher Rebbe, because he kind of led this underground movement. The last name Schneerson was a blacklisted, hated name among the government there. And he was arrested. He was arrested 7 times, and the 7th arrest was the most brutal arrest. Okay, I'm kind of like backtracking. I'm kind of veering off from this book. This is a great book. It follows this man around what he experienced. I don't know if I mentioned that. But now I'm kind of going into the Hasidic Lubavitch aspect of it, and that's going to lead me to another recommendation for you, something to listen to. It's an audio class about the Frierdiker Rebbe's arrest and what he experienced as the leader of this underground movement to teach Torah and to keep the spirit of Judaism alive at that time in the Soviet Union. There's so many stories of heroism in our history, the Holocaust. I mean, there's so many, but I'll share just this one with you because I feel like it's not so known what was experienced there. The Frierdiker Rebbe was arrested, and his sentence was actually going to get lifted. Okay, he was going to come out of jail. They lifted his sentence. He was sentenced to be shot, but they crossed that out. He was sentenced then to have hard labor, but that was crossed out. And then he was sentenced to be in exile. The guards in prison were coming to tell him that his sentence was being lifted. But in the prison, you're supposed to stand whenever a guard wants to tell you something as a sign of submission to them. He refused to stand. The Frierdiker Rebbe refused to stand because he submits to Hashem. He doesn't submit to these guards. So what did they do? They beat him mercilessly and then left him. And then a second guard came and said, "Are you going to stand? We want to tell you something. We want to tell you your sentence is lifted, but you have to stand for us." He refused to stand again. And what did they do? They beat him. They beat him again. And for years after, he felt the pain of that beating. And then they came again and said, "Have you not learned your lesson? You don't stand for us? We're going to beat you again." And what did he say was, "It depends who's teaching who." Like, in other words, you think you're teaching me that I submit to you, but what I'm doing is I'm teaching you that Jews do not submit to you. We submit to Hashem. We don't submit to you. And he was saying that he was standing up for every single Jew at that time in that dark place in prison. He was the leader of the movement. He was sticking up for all of you, all of the Russian Jewry who were not able to be a Jew, basically. And the guards accepted that, and then they brought him to tell him his sentence was lifted and he didn't have to stand. So, okay, I wanted to share with you, there's an audio class on Chabad.org all about it. It is fascinating. It is almost heart-wrenching, okay? But it's so important to know what people have suffered for us. Thank God it's a free country. It's a beautiful country. We love this country. We're thankful. But it's no different. We still are Jewish here, just as we were Jewish wherever we come from, wherever our ancestors are, whatever they've suffered. Because I would imagine all of us, every single one of us, have some kind of a story, our ancestry, where they suffered because they were Jewish, specifically because they were Jewish. So that is what I wanted to share with you about things to listen to. I'm going to post links to all these books and to the audio class down below. And if you've made it through this video, and I wish you and I wanted to just give you, I hear my baby crying inside, my husband's watching them, so I'm going to run. But I want to just quickly wish you a meaningful, beautiful Mashiach day, Tisha B'Av day. If you're fasting, a meaningful fast, an easy fast, and many blessings to you. Only blessings and success, revealed good. Everything is good, but revealed good. Take care. Bye-bye.